Jaylen Brown with the flush. Tatum the drive. Tatum the finish.
It is Banner 18. The mission commanded is mission accomplished.
So the other one that obviously I've been hearing and people are talking about is Jaylen Brown and the potential to trade him because his contract is so massive that it would kind of alleviate a lot of their financial concerns long term. I'm curious for your standpoint, one, how do you think that a contract is perceived around the league? Do you think there are a lot of suitors that would want Jaylen Brown on a supermax contract at his current moment? And two, how willing, from your standpoint, would the Celtics be to part ways with him? Because it does seem like long term when he signed that deal, I thought to myself, like, are him and Tatum both going to play out their entire supermax contracts in Boston? Like, how likely is that? And then they go win a championship and he wins Finals MVP, and then suddenly the idea of him being in trade rumors feels so far away. And I feel like he's kind of back in them. And I don't know if I want to call them trade rumors because it's not reports. It's just people wondering if he might get traded. But what's your take on all of that?
Yeah, I was with you when he signed his supermax and we knew Tatum was going to sign one, which was kind of funny. And I did the same thing everybody else did with Jaylen Brown signs richest contract in NBA history until Jason Tatum signs the next newest, richest one next year. But it's interesting because this is where I do kind of turn off the emotions in me as a fan of the team and the game. Is just history tells us guys don't play for one team anymore. It's very rare that we see that. So I was kind of there where it was like, all right, but then they win the title. He was a monster part of it, of course. And then, all right, him and Tatum, we finally got past all the stupid nonsense of they don't like each other. They don't like playing together, which was always dumb and created for reasons I never really understood, beyond just trying to drive, other things. But it was really in a place where it's like, okay, they work. Like they can win a title together, being, 1-1A, and this is awesome, and let's go. I get why people have gone to, all right, let's, now, all right, Tatum's out for the year. Let's really blow it up. The best value we can get is trading Jaylen Brown, probably. Let's try to do that. And I do understand that thought process, but I don't think that's where the team is. I think they are very much in a place of, hey, we're not trying to start all over here with Jason Tatum and a bunch of dudes on rookie scale and less than $20 million contracts. I think we're going to take a gap year. We're going to reset a little bit and we're going to get back after this. And to me, that is Jaylen Brown's a huge part of that. You also have the knee injury. That's certainly going to scare some teams off where it's going to be, there's a little uncertainty in there now. We don't know. Is he going to undergo surgery and miss a chunk of next season? What would that look like? And at 50 plus million, is that a risk we want to take on? Is this going to become a year-to-year thing with him or a regular thing where it's, Jaylen Brown's out for the next 2 weeks because of knee soreness or whatever it may be. So that would scare some teams off. And then there are some teams that are going to look at it and say, man, that's a big contract for a guy we're not sold as an all-NBA level guy. And in the new world, because of the aprons and all of the other things that come with that, I think teams are going to start being a lot more stingy in some cases and smart, though, also about, I don't know that we can just say max deal, take on guys with max deals in trades and the like, because I think as much as it's worked out well for the Celtics, I think some teams are probably looking at a team like Phoenix and like, man, if Jaylen Brown's deal starts to look a little more like Bradley Beal's instead of, what it is today, that puts us in a really rough spot. Now we're stuck. All that said, there are certainly teams that would say, we'd love Jaylen Brown. What would it take? Right? There's a bunch of teams in the league that they don't have a Jaylen Brown level of player who's a proven performer, who is an all-star guy, has made All-NBA, won Finals MVP. They would love to have a guy like that to be, all right, we're going to build around him moving forward. So I don't think they would have a lot of trouble if Brad Stevens quietly put it out there like, hey, Jaylen's available. What does it take? They would get very real and very good offers. I just don't think that's the way the team's going to go.
And the question is, are those offers worth losing Jaylen Brown for? Like, I know some stars have been, some Celtics fans have been like, oh, what if you got Giannis for him? But that doesn't seem very plausible. It's most likely the packages that you would get for him would not include a player of his caliber, right? It would be more of kind of getting young, promising.
Yeah,
talent, that sort
you're
of thing.
getting younger. You're getting another team's contracts they're not necessarily bad contracts, but you're not jumping up and down about, oh my God, we got this guy on a steal or
Yeah.
anything like that. It'd very much be we're resetting a little bit. We're getting out of his money long term, and that's going to help the cap sheet moving forward for years. And we're really going to reset around Jason Tatum. I'll say this too. I am extremely hopeful because it's 2025. He had the surgery right away, that Jason Tatum can come back and be some level of very near what we've always seen him as. I'm very, very hopeful. But there is doubt because that's an
Right.
injury that is, even though it doesn't end careers the way it once did, it has still changed a lot of players' careers. And if I'm the Celtics, and again, my goal is, all right, we still want to win. We still want to be a contender. Maybe not next season, but in the years after that. Well, I want to be able to still have Jaylen Brown to lean on if Jason Tatum
Right.
is not Jason Tatum again right away, or even if he's not Jason Tatum at all, and he's just merely a very good player instead of a great one. Well, now at least we still have Jaylen Brown, and we're not kind of restarting all over again like that.
That's kind of been my thought process, is the idea of like sell off all your really good players. Like I've even seen Derek White's name in trade rumors.
Yeah.
Like get rid of those guys, because when Tatum comes back, you don't want Derek White to be 32. You want to have a 25-year-old. It really rests on the idea that Tatum's going to come back and be this like savior. And first of all, he's always had great players around him, so that's not really, accurate. But also, it's, you don't know exactly what state he's going to be in, and you don't want to. I don't think you want to put everything on the prospect of him being exactly who he was beforehand.